So let's talk about Friedrich Engels' Socialism, Utopian and Scientific. I am currently rereading this work and I find it immensely helpful in understanding of communism and understanding how Marx and Engels were developing the theories of earlier socialists. There are some theses that I find to be immensely helpful in understanding of socialism and communism. So in this work, Friedrich Engels gives us an overview of the development of socialism in Europe. So he gives us some historical context, and it's very helpful in understanding how the surroundings of the thinkers, of the socialist thinkers, have been shaping their perception of reality. And the understanding of utopian socialism can be summed up, I believe, in the following statement. The statement that is that humans create the conditions in which they live, therefore they can create more favorable conditions for development of humankind. And this is the major criticism, as far as I can see, that Friedrich Engels is giving the utopian socialists. It is the fact that it is not our minds and wills that shape up the circumstances. It is the other way around. It is our economic circumstances, that is, the way we produce our necessities, that shapes the way we perceive the world, and we build our world kind of around these material conditions. So if any one of you has a better understanding of this thesis, please let me know. I'm very interested in learning collectively, and I really want to see if I'm making any kind of mistakes. Please point them out. But I find it very helpful to look at socialism through a materialist lens. I myself used to be a very idealistic person, and I used to think that the power of human will was the solution to the problems. And I was proven to be wrong time and time again in my own life. So when I started reading Marx and Engels, I had the moment of epiphany when I realized that no, it's not the human will that creates the conditions, it is the conditions that create our ways of thinking. And if you find yourself struggling with idealism, I highly suggest you read Engels's Socialism, Utopian and Scientific, because he gives us this historical context in which all of these thinkers were creating their utopian ideas, and it's very easy to understand why they were thinking the way they did, because they were still limited by their class consciousness or lack thereof. Those thinkers were still limited because the clear-cut struggle between proletariat and bourgeoisie was not yet distinguished, because they were still struggling with feudalism and the aristocracy. So it is understandable why they couldn't yet see how the bourgeoisie was fundamentally different from the proletariat. So, and Marx and Engels' suggested division into proletariat and bourgeoisie is seen oftentimes as reductive, and I agree. However, I do find it to be very important in realizing that in our class struggle, the distinction between those who control the modes of production and those who exploit the rest of us, and us, the working people who actually create that human wealth, is very important. And if we come to understand this distinction, we are going to have an easier time understanding socialism and communism. And we'll also have an easier time in our day-to-day lives, because we're not going to perceive ourselves as billionaires in the making, because we will be able to see our limitations that are imposed on us, that are not natural, and that no meritocracy exists in the world, okay? There's no such a thing. So let me know what you think about it, and I'm really enthusiastic about talking about specific works by Marx and Engels, and I would highly appreciate suggestions, thoughts, ideas, and questions.